Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Sports Hub Central. I'm your host, Chad M.
And I'm Emily Nerlin, and we are back with some NFL talk. Probably a conversation we wouldn't have thought we'd be having at this point in the season, going into Week 6. But the Green Bay Packers are 2-3, not looking like a record that you would have expected them to have had. Is this the point that they should be starting to press a panic button?
I would say no, and even if you want to date things back to last year, they are 4-5 in their last 9 overall football games. And the reason why I don't think they can panic quite yet is because they're not really on the verge of losing their season altogether. If there was one more game that they could lose and then they'd be mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, then that's when the panic button could happen. Because let's not forget, when they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, they were in that panic state of mind where they couldn't lose any more games. We saw them win their last 4 regular season games.
Shouldn't they maybe want to be in that panic part? Because they're not getting anything working. They're facing a Texans team against Arian Foster. They are 17th in run-stop defense. They're going to get run all over, looking at dropping another game. And Aaron Rodgers came forward saying he doesn't even know what's happening. He knows he's not getting it done out there. He says that practices aren't really going as planned, as they had in the past, and he can't even put a finger on what it is. If they can't put a finger on what the problem is, isn't that a point to panic? Shouldn't they start looking for what they need to fix? Because it's not working right now, and they were a team that is supposed to be going to this. They're supposed to be a favored team. They had high expectations.
They've played 5 football games. Their record's 2-3. We all know they should be 3-2. But nonetheless, it's not like this team here is getting blown out every single game and they're not in it. They've had a chance to win every game. And I think the fact that Rodgers is identifying the fact that he isn't playing as his best is a sign of accountability, and he'll do whatever it takes to take things to the next level. You factor in the defense. Half the starters are rookies this year. It takes some time to get acquainted with that. The offense isn't quite as efficient as it was before because of Rodgers not playing as well. Jermichael Finley can't catch and drop. Donald Driver's getting a year older. They don't really have a running game now with
Benson
going down.
So you're giving them everything. You're giving every single reason why they should start panicking and getting their shit together. Somebody else that should be getting their shit together is the league. Brian Cushing we now know is out with a torn ACL after a cut block. There have been no fines levied out for that. Now, Clay Matthews, an ex-teammate of Brian Cushing, tweeted out saying that the league is doing nothing to defend the defensive side of the ball. That whenever somebody on the defensive side of the ball hits anyone on the offensive side, fines are going out all the time. Yeah. So what do you think Goodell's doing here? Is he doing what he needs to do to protect the defensive side of the ball?
Well, let's first of all back things up with Clay Matthews. I like the way he only comes out to the defense of Cushing, but he doesn't for other defensive players in the league. But in general, when it comes to the way Goodell governs this league with fines and enforcement, it really is a travesty because his main objective here is to protect the quarterbacks because they're the faces of the league. They're the image. They're the stars. They're what sell tickets. They are the people that they go to the broadcasters with and pitch the commercials to get people to come and watch. So it's always from a financial and business standpoint in their best interest to do what they can to protect them. That's why you see
Isn't it in the best financial interest to protect everybody then? Because if without a defense and you just have the offense playing, then it's not even a league and people aren't even caring.
Well, until the people start to turn their TVs
then
off.
It's college football.
Okay. The bottom line here is, Emily, they want to protect the offensive players because that's what's intriguing. That's what sells the sport. Nobody wants to come watch a 6-3 defensive battle with guys being able to prevent the other team from scoring. Fans mainly want to see shootouts, so they're going to do whatever they can to keep that intact. But do you think that's right? No, I completely disagree with it. I'm a diehard football fan. It's absolutely absurd the calls that go against the defense and the way it doesn't go the other way around. It's ridiculous how rules can be so different on both sides of the ball, and that's what drives me nuts. I'm just saying overall, from the way the league views it from a financial standpoint, because when you're talking about the billions of dollars they generate, we know that's all they give a shit about at the end of the day, and that's why we had the whole referee lockout thing, because they didn't want to pay them, because they wanted to make as much money as they could.
Well, speaking of people making money, quarterbacks being the faces of franchises, we have Sanchez and we have Tim Tebow. Woody Johnson was interviewed and he came out saying that he loves Tebow, he wants to have him for another 3 years, and that Sanchez didn't play that bad. Do you agree with the owner's statements?
Well, no. I mean, first of all, he can claim that he wants to have Tim Tebow for 3 years, but you know what? Maybe Tebow doesn't want to be there for 3 years because he believes he should have a greater involvement in the offense. And
but
maybe
would
Tim
Tebow, the ultimate team player, not stick with a team that wants him, that says they believe in him for a certain role? Do you think he's going to ask for a trade? The guy who's supposed to be the All-American good guy, and they're like, we have faith in you. We want you on part of this team. Do you think he's going to go to them and be like, oh, actually, I want to trade because you're not playing me the way I want to be played? Well, I don't think that's part of his character.
I think maybe if the team starts to lose and Sanchez's performance continues to regress, yes, but until it gets like absolutely horrific where the team is like pretty much out of the playoff race and you can single-handedly put the blame on Sanchez and fine. But as bad as the Jets are playing...
Do you think it should be put single-handedly on Sanchez? So Woody Johnson says that he's not playing that badly. So you agree with that he's not playing that badly?
Okay, no. I'm not saying that he's not playing that badly, but when you look at why the Jets are a 2-3 team, and I view them maybe being 500 at the end of the year, it's not all Sanchez's fault. First of all, they have no running game. The offensive line's had a lot of moving pieces coming in and out. The defense is not nearly as good as it was a couple years ago when they made those AFC championship runs. They were ranked 31st, dead last in the league on third down defense, something that is unacceptable for a Rex Ryan defense.
But if he's
How come that doesn't get the attention of Sanchez's disgusting throws?
Well, because he's the quarterback, and they get all the attention, which we just discussed. It's something that everybody wants to focus on. Everybody wants to focus on Sanchez and Tebow and who's going to have that. And the thing is that if you are an elite quarterback, if you are...
Well, no, he's not elite. We can all agree on that.
But doesn't the New York Jets, they're supposed to be... Rex Ryan came out and started saying this is the most talented roster he's ever had, and he's come out saying all this stuff.
Whatever Rex says...
But I'm just saying that Sanchez has to be able to put some of that together. Even if you're a quarterback of any team, you need to come together and pull everything together. And he hasn't done that. So can you say he's doing well? And I think that Woody Johnson was just saying that. I think he's just saying that because he didn't want to start anything. Yeah, just the same reason he didn't answer whether Tebow was a virgin or not. You just don't want to start anything.
He doesn't want to come out and negatively, rip his franchise quarterback that he traded up for in the draft a few years ago. And the thing with Sanchez, and my main overall point with him, is he has a decent arm, and when he's given time in the pocket, he can make throws downfield. But that's not good enough because he is just terrible when it comes to the short yardage situations. How many balls get deflected? It wasn't just J.J. Watt this week on Monday Night Football. He has zero anticipation of pressure coming up the middle from the side. He forces a lot of bad balls in there, and that's where I think he's really missing the key element to being a quarterback where you might even consider middle of the road in the NFL for starters. I mean, between him, Matt Castle, and Blaine Gabbert, those are by far the three worst starting quarterbacks in the NFL at this moment.
Well, they'll have a chance to defend themselves this weekend. Be sure to check out us here on Sport Hub Central. Be sure to check out our bets by clicking on the link below. You can see who we vote for, who we bet for during the week, and just keep up with Sport Hub Central.
Make sure, guys, to go to the link below on this video, BetHubb.com. Sign up for your account right now. We have an outstanding promotion going on. First-time account users, we're going to give you guys an extra $10 for you to put in your account. Free money. Go out there. Bet your friends. Create a line. Engage. Get involved and watch these games and have some action on it so it can be even more exciting than it is already.